out for the shark.
Guys, thank you so much for checking us out, Cannabis Comedy Church on Apexx Radio. Today we have a very, very special guest. We are sitting with comedy legend OG Kenny Robinson. Thank you so much for sitting with us, Kenny.
Thank you. I just want to let everybody know that you do a great job spot welding. You welded the shit out of this dance studio.
Yeah, you know, I'm working hard, and one day at a time, we're going to get one spot in. Oh, wow, we got it crooked. This might not last too long, guys. I know you guys have tuned in, and we've done a bunch of these podcasts before. Usually I don't wear a mask or a face shield.
But because of my age and diabetes and obesity and high blood pressure, I'm like number one on the high risk chart.
That's true. It is, maybe, I don't know, but
I better put this 50-cent mask on.
I was not going to be the amateur comic that I got OG Kenny Robinson.
Did you hear what happened?
So
Kenny did a podcast and got sick. They don't know if he's going to make it. Actually, one of our comics just put on Facebook today that he's been tested positive. Don't say his name. We ain't got to out him in case he's got to go French kiss people. But, you know.
I know, it's sad, but like, you got to kind of expect it. I mean, it's there's a big crew of us, and
I did a show at the El Macambo the other day and took all kinds of pictures with people, and then I'm thinking, like, all this time I've spent keeping my bubble and washing my hands and sanitizer, and here I am taking pictures of all these motherfuckers, you know.
And that show just opened up, eh? They just opened up. They had a bunch of renovations.
Yeah, it's gorgeous there. If you ever been there before, you wouldn't know it.
It's a legendary venue to begin with, and I heard they put quite a chunk of change into renovating it and making it.
Renovation also technology.
Yeah,
they can live stream shows from there now, and you know. But
they got a show coming out. Ron James is gonna be there this week.
October 6th, October 4th, something like that.
I thought it was Friday, 2nd.
Oh, I don't know.
Maybe. You could be right, but that's right.
I didn't know today wasn't October 1st. I didn't know that.
I know. I wasn't sure when you were like tomorrow, and I was like, no, yeah, Wednesday. Tomorrow's Wednesday.
We were kind of like, Dave's not here, man. Our messages back and forth.
I was like, what's going on? Do I not know what day of the week it is anymore? Ah, man. So, comedy legend, though. So you came to Canada in 1980?
No, I was born here in 1958 because my mother had some legal problems. We had to skip out of Winnipeg in the middle of the night before I turned 1.
Yeah, what?
So, you know, but then I came, you know, so I came back, and when my dad got ill, we couldn't get him into a hospital down in the States because didn't have coverage or $2,000 deposit. So we wound up. His old doctor in Winnipeg, he hadn't seen in 10 years.
Yeah.
Got him, put him to a hospital in Winnipeg. Admitted to a hospital in Winnipeg, St. Boniface, and he passed about a month later. So I had to come up there while my mother did business out of Detroit for a bit, and then I spent my summers and shit here. Then in I guess it was grade 10, I came up to Winnipeg to go to high school after my mother caught me packing a knife to go to school with.
Why did you need a knife back then at 10 years old?
I was just beating my ass.
Yes.
So I thought I may as well cut somebody, and then she had a very good friend that was a top lawyer. Later on became a judge, and he said, I got so many boys, and his mother got to come bring me money because they thought they'd take a knife to school. So my mother just said she'd send me up to have my aunt try to help me out and raise me, as opposed to have me packing a blade to go to school.
That's fair. Hey, that's a good mom. She made the right move. How do you feel about it?
My whole life changed.
Yeah, it went upside down.
You know, I guess it changed for the better. I was more of an introvert being in Chicago and didn't stay out late and, you know, and kind of shy with girls. And then by grade 11, I was a full-fledged drinking, chasing.
The great Kenny Robinson was shy? You were shy at one point?
Oh, you know, I spent my first year in Winnipeg just writing plays and looking at secondhand bookstores and seeing movies. And then a couple of my friends showed me how to drink underage, and I started drinking in the bars, and then you know what that leads to.
Hey.
No good.
No good.
No good.
And so when did you get the comedy bug then?
Well, my father was an entertainer, so I used to do impressions.
Okay.
From grade 8, grade 9 up, and I had a friend of mine. And then I was always involved in some kind of theater or what have you. So I was first year of University of Winnipeg. I thought I might become a lawyer, but I tried. I was also taking drama, and because I had a big afro and everything, they just wasn't. They weren't casting dudes with afros for any of the plays that the University of Winnipeg put on.
Time.
So I don't know if it's changed that much, but I couldn't wait for the change. And a friend of mine, they started doing a comedy afternoon at this place called the Royal Albert, and a friend of mine dared me to go up there, so I did, and did well. If I bombed, I might not have come back.
Yeah.
But I did well and came back the next week, bombed, and came back the third week, did okay, and then I realized I didn't have enough voices to keep going at it as an impressionist, so you better start writing material.
Writing material.
So that was it.
And that's where it all started, eh?
Yeah.
And then, so you've also been running the Nubian Disciples of Nubian.
Nubian Disciples of Prayer.
For the last 25 years now.
25th anniversary in April. We had all kinds of big plans.
Yeah.
But then COVID shut us down.
I know. It broke my heart.
So we did have a 20. I should have brought the CD. Should write you a couple. We do have the 25th anniversary CD.
I have seen it. Please, guys, check it out. There is
It's called The Next 25.
Yep.
There's 25 tracks on it. It's almost like a K-Tel album.
Yeah.
Got 25 tracks, some great comics, and got to be positive and say we've got another 25 coming. So that's available everywhere where you can get your
Spotify, the whole nine.
All that.
It's all good.
iTunes.
Guys, seriously, check it out. There's lots of there's great names on there. And you're a regular smoker?
Used to smoke more.
Used to smoke more.
That's
fair.
Used to smoke a lot. Used to drink a lot. But as I got older, just the needs change.
Yeah. And so when you started buying weed back in the day, you remember kind of like your first grab? Because obviously you didn't walk into a store. There wasn't. Do you remember the guy?
I think I bought like a little brown envelope for $10.
Yeah.
Or they used to call it lids. I never bought a lid. A lid was $20, and if you got a 4-finger bag, that's how they used to measure it.
Yeah.
So yeah, 4
fingers.
fingers.
No scale. Just a bag, 4 fingers.
That was a good deal. Look, that's a 3-finger. That's a 4-finger. So But then I guess me being around the comedy scene probably got me more into smoking than before. Because all the guys that were mean to me in grammar school were 1 through 8, they were all dopers. So my first response is, well, if they're doping, then I don't like them.
Okay.
I figure what makes them smoke a weed trying to think they should be bad to me. So but as I got more around comics, then there were people selling it all the time.
Yeah.
So you go buy $20, $25 worth of stuff, and before you know it, I was buying I was buying quarters for $80 or $100.
Ooh, wow, quarters.
Yeah.
Wow, quarters. They're like $60 now.
Well, we're talking
I know,
30,
this was a long
35
time ago.
years
There was
ago.
a lot of heat behind that, so I'm just trying to put it into perspective. That's a long time. I guess a quarter was a lot of weed a long time ago to be carrying around, too.
Well, good thing is with the prices have gone down.
Yes. Not even legalization, just weed.
Unless you buy from the government. Then you're basically paying $80 for a quarter.
I worked with a gentleman. He was 63 years old, cancer patient, and he was started buying weed from the government. And one day he comes to work to me and he's like, "Is this a normal price?" And I was like, "How much?" And he's like, "So I bought some weed off the government site, and it was $295 plus tax."
For what?
For a single ounce.
An ounce?
A single ounce, $300 plus tax. That's insane.
And shipping.
And so we're talking $350 all said and done to the door. That's like a quarter pound on the black market.
So who'd you hook him up with?
My guy, for sure. Oh yeah, we gave him my guy. He's getting $100 ounces. We don't play around.
Mm-hmm.
So we've been kind of great. So who would you say maybe, because you've been around for a minute in the comedy scene, who would you say is your favorite person that you've gotten high with? If you can say it.
Jeez. Man, well, back in the day, Wayne Fleming was my main man. That was my road dog. He's RIP now, but we do it all the time. And then See, Ronnie Edwards.
Hey, good old Ronnie.
I'll tell you what I didn't like though. I opened for Tommy Chong a few times, and the worst was in Vancouver. Everybody was giving him stuff. Yeah. And he goes, here, man, you want this? You want this, man? But Tommy had a dude who was driving him every night, because Tommy's from Vancouver.
Yeah.
And this cat gave me a real thin joint or something. I had all this other stuff that I had, and I thought I'd smoke just a little bit the morning before catching a plane.
Yeah.
Man, I was shaking and trembling.
I
thought I was going to overdose. I said, you can't overdose on some weed. And I said, well, maybe it's spiked with that China white that everybody's dying.
There could possibly be back in the day.
I don't know what it was, but I went down to the McDonald's down on Granville? Yeah, Granville. And I'm sitting there holding the coffee with two hands, and the crack hands are looking at me going, look at that dude. He's tweaking. He is tweaking. So I thought for sure I was going to die. So what I did was I had a Polaroid camera back then in case you meet any lovely ladies.
Hey.
So I took the camera and I took pictures of all the dope I had, and then I couldn't contact my cousin at 7:30 in the morning because I got a flight to catch.
Yeah.
I didn't want to just. I was at a hotel downtown. I didn't want to just try and leave it in the alley and hope that I could find it next time I come back. I didn't want to give it to a homeless guy in case they overdose on it. So I flushed it all away.
No.
And then when I flushed it, everybody I showed the pictures went, "What are you, nuts?" I said, "I don't give a shit." And and it was the thinnest.
Just the smallest guy.
So I started to wonder, maybe they try to give me a hot joint or something. They said, well, you done stole the show from Tommy every night. Now steal this motherfucker,
It could be, eh?
I don't think so,
No.
but it was just that was his homeboy, and that's probably the stuff they were smoking.
That's gotta be some strong stuff if it wasn't like that.
You would not believe.
That was some. So have you?
Have I smoked since? Yes, but I hadn't smoked for about 6 months after that.
You took a little bit of a break.
I took a long break.
Yeah, it was almost like a paranoid break. Were you scared to get that high again if you smoked?
No, because I knew I'd never get that high again. I just was convinced
Whatever.
that day, and I was trembling from it and everything.
I believe it. I've seen it.
So I said, and then I, plus I got to fly from Vancouver to Calgary, so going into the airport and you're on to begin with, and then you got so much stuff on you. I said, you know what?
Oh, you guys would take it to the airport?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So back when they still had, sniff dogs and all this other stuff there,
What would you guys do to try to hide it? Or you guys just threw it in the bag and called it a day?
I used to put it in the battery compartment of a JVC boombox I had. And then, but then, we used to wrap it up in plastic and then throw in the free, the coffee bags they give you in the hotels.
Yeah.
So we try to wrap, but a dog sniffing dog gonna go like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, he's straight. They know.
But it's really stupid because I learned at a young age, anything you want, you can get where you're going.
Yeah.
So you don't need to bring it. You don't need to cross borders.
No, that's definitely true. That's definitely.
And even more so now. But I know going up to Fort McMurray though, you get up there and it's 3 times the price of what you were paying back anywhere else. But I've sat with some terrible low-life people over the years just because they said you want to go get high.
Yeah.
So I definitely have, I'm fussy about who I smoke with.
No, that's fair. Well. Yeah, you got to pick and choose who you get smoked with now, and where you get it from nowadays, especially. You know what I mean? Especially if you're not getting it from a dispensary. You gotta be careful of who you buy it from.
First time I went to a dispensary, I must have looked like a refugee that hadn't been to McDonald's before. So I'm looking at all these things and everything behind me. Come on, man, come on. I'm going, I don't know what I want.
Yeah, what's that experience like for someone who...
What's all these names? When I used to call up a man, I just told him, I said, hey, I want to see it. And then I might say, you got any of that shake? I used to like that shake.
Hey, shake, people knock shake, but hey, back in the day, shake in good quantity, pooh.
And then later on I heard dudes say, get some of that sticky. So I said, well, if they told me it was sticky, that was good enough. So by the time they broke it down to indica and all this other stuff, I said, what? This is like, it was all new to me then.
Yeah.
It's like back when, it's like when I used to play, when I first started doing the 420 friendly comedy rooms.
Hey.
I would tell them about, when you have to get the album cover and panhandle all the seeds out of your stuff. And them young kids looked at me like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
Yeah, we haven't big
seeds, album covers. They didn't understand the whole ritual of 1970s,
they don't even get
1980s.
stems these days. Kids don't know nothing about the stems.
Or to get, man, it's all seeds.
Yeah, seeds and stems, man.
Give me all seeds and stems.
Yeah, break up the stem, put it in the tea and drink it, they used to tell you.
Or I used to try to save that for, pipes.
Yeah.
But, that's, but then, as you get older, you got more responsibility.
That's fair.
And
you're also a father.
Yeah. And also, I just got really tired of burnouts.
Yeah. Yeah, you get to a point where you get tired of burning out.
No, not me burning out. Being around fuckers that were burnt out.
That's fair. Yeah.
So
I complete rips all the time.
I started yelling, "Get off my lawn" at a young age. I didn't have to wait till I was 40 to start doing it. So my tolerance for people that overindulge in anything.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because don't forget, I've been in the stand-up game 40 years, so that's 40 years of being out trying to work while everybody else is trying to party. So I've been exposed to terrible people over the years.
Oh, I know.
Just terrible.
I mean, not as long. I worked
drinking people, smoking people, coking people.
7 years I worked in nightclubs with you.
I had a friend that was a Vietnam vet and a heroin addict, but his drug of choice was Dilaudid.
Oh, Dilaudid.
So I used to always get beat for a couple of bucks by him. I used to think he was a comic with a drug problem. Then when I finally got smart, I realized he's just a very funny and entertaining and amusing junkie. So at first he's a comic with a drug problem. Then then after you give him a couple $100, and then it gets closer to $1,000. Well, then you start to go. But the cool thing is, there's always a good time hanging out with Tommy Cox, R.I.P. out of Buffalo, New York, found dead on the floor of in Rochester, New York, at the Cadillac Hotel. Sam Kinison gave him money for some blow, and
this is an exclusive.
Tommy never came back with Sam's blow.
Never came.
He went and bought some Dilaudid. So everybody was saying, Sam's really upset, Sam's mad, and the next time Sam was in town, Tommy dared to go to the club. He goes, "You're the guy that stole my money, you stole my money! You're a beast, you're a beast!" So Tommy says, "I'm sorry, man, I was hurt, you know how that shit is."
Yeah.
So they went to the cooker together, apparently. And everything was forgiven.
Yeah, as long as there's always a little bit of next high in there, right?
Well, that's the thing about dope people.
That's crazy, baby.
Well, it's like I thought about some places I wound up, and somebody says, you want to come smoke a joint. I could wind up like one of Jeffrey Dahmer's people.
Yeah, and it's you don't know anymore. You know what I mean? I like to watch it rolled. I like to see it. I like to smell it. I like to inspect it.
I like to be home with my door locked and my music on and no one with me.
And what do you like to listen to? What's your jam when you're nice and ripped? It
depends. Yeah. It can be anything from I'm an outlaw country, so for my wilder days it'd be like some Waylon Jennings and if I'm listening and being very deep in thought, it's Chris Christopherson for the lyrics. I'm a jazz fan, love Charles Mingus and Coltrane and the greats. But overall, I'm a blues junkie. So it's Muddy and John Lee Hooker and BB and Etta James and Otis Buddy Guy and Otis Rush. And now if I'm bringing ladies over, then we go from Otis Rush to Otis Redding and some Al Green and
oh man, these are great names.
Yeah, like I always said that back in the day we didn't need a date rape drug for a woman. You just need a little bit of gin and a little bit of green and a whole lot of Al Green.
Hey,
whatever you want, it's gonna happen.
That's it. It was so simple back in the day. Now it's all technology and buttons and quizzes to figure people out, and nobody's talking to anybody's face. I mean, other than Corona, I get it, but like, No more face to face. Everything's on the mobile. Everything's.
Well, now you got to audition. Guys figure they have to send a picture of their dick before they can get to meet the woman, you know?
That's it.
See, me, I wait. I know you got to make them laugh first.
Hell yeah.
If you're going to get it, you got to get them laughing first.
I mean,
You got to be a gentleman.
I haven't been doing comedy that long, but anyone who asks me what helps on stage, I say always make the women laugh first, because the men will follow. I always try to make the women laugh first, and somehow it always gets the men to roll just a little bit. So that's usually my goal.
Over the years, I've been having women yanking their man out of the show. Let's go. He's rude. He's ignorant. Don't do that to this again. And I said, why are you getting mad at me for making jokes about what you about to go do?
Yeah,
and then they're gone.
Rude. They don't want to hear their lives out loud.
You know,
it's got to be a little secret door for them.
But one-on-one, you know, make them laugh.
That's it. And you know, Kenny, you're known for being the round raunchier. You know what I mean? That's we loved you at the I run before COVID happened. I run a once a month at a swingers club in Mississauga called M4, and we had Mr. Robinson there, and they haven't stopped talking about you since.
And I didn't even touch nobody.
And yeah, no, this guy went in, smashed. I think we were supposed to do 30, and you ended up doing, I don't know, it must have been 50. It felt like 50 minutes of just bang, 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 and it was great, yeah, and it was fun, man.
Well, I used to do all kinds of swingers conventions where they take over a hotel for 3-4 days and all that. So you know, it wasn't my first rodeo, as they say.
No, it is funny because we get a lot of comics who are like, yeah, I'm prepared to do this room, and then they see a tit for the first time while they're doing a joke, and they're done. It's like them doing a blunt before going on stage when they had no business of smoking weed before.
Well, one time I took my wife with me. It was in Niagara Falls, American side. I was doing a convention there, and I did some joke. I was doing this old bit about, can you imagine your mom and dad fucking? And some people in the audience went, oh! And my wife didn't come with me to the show at the time. She was still getting ready, you know. So I said, he said, I've offended you, have I? And I said, about 15 minutes after I'm done, you're going to sit there and watch 5 guys jack off on your wife's face. But now you're going, ooh, because I mentioned that your mom and dad may fuck. So then I just hear my wife from the door, Kenny! So that was good. I shocked not only the woman that bared my children, but people that exchange partners that pay money to rent a room and leave town to go have sex with people they don't know.
Yeah, these people.
Or people that they only see when they go switching. So.
Yeah, if you guys don't know these places, like these guys, they buy memberships. These getaways are like. They're expensive. They're like $200-300 a person. They're invested.
Or couples, because there's people that make their living putting on these parties. And then the thing is, at this hotel I was at, they rented the hotel for the entire weekend from Thursday ending Sunday.
Oh, wow.
So they had butcher's paper over the window where the pools were, so nobody could look through. If you ain't part of this,
they took out the hotel.
took out the entire hotel.
They took it down. That's it. Swingers convention, everything.
Excuse me. If you weren't there, you couldn't pull up with a station wagon full of children going, oh, there's a pool. Can we get a room?
Yeah.
No,
not this weekend.
There's signs on the door, closed for private party.
Yeah, and 1 week of sanitization.
Oh, the funniest thing was hearing the staff talk about it. One dude said, man, I saw things last night I ain't never saw. I could die today knowing I saw everything.
Yeah, I guess so, eh? They would see some shit.
Yeah, and then people talked about what they were finding. Oh, people found all kinds of bras, panties, butt plugs, all that stuff. Sex toys.
Yeah, you do forget a lot of shit when you leave a convention.
Or, you know, you're drunk and you forget to bring it in or what have you.
Yeah, drunk and fucking, that's... And a couple of little other things.
You know, then there's a hospitality room where there are all these free pizzas on the tables. So I go there and get pizza, and meanwhile there's some guy, plowing this big girl. So, and I'm looking at like, man, I'm just here for the pizza.
A little dinner in the show, I guess.
You know, so I wasn't trying to get. But what was funny though was you couldn't smoke inside the hotel. You had to go outside. Meanwhile, there was
That's very classy for us.
they were sucking dick on the dance floor. There was somebody bent over getting from behind by the speakers by the DJ booth. But damn if you could light up a cigarette in that place.
No
go
go,
outside.
no smoke. But smoke, no smoke.
And then you could, lay in my bed after the show's over, hearing all the noise from all the other rooms.
Oh, you didn't partake that night?
Never.
No. Oh, yeah, I guess you've been married for a long time.
Yeah, married, and even if I wasn't, that wasn't,
Now you're dead.
Because the people get there on Thursday, so they are doing their shit. Oh, and I didn't see any condom wrappers when they were doing it on the floor.
Oh, yeah, that's fair. Okay,
So, people doing this shit from Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and I didn't get there till Saturday.
Yeah.
Man, you know how much STI was floating in the room before I even got to the scene?
I guess that's a safer bet. That's why you're a smart.
Oh, hi, honey. I would like to kiss you first. Don't think so.
Not today.
Not any day. But the saddest thing was the morning after, Sunday morning, coming down. I was, getting ready to check out, so I grabbed breakfast, and see a woman sitting there having breakfast by herself. She wasn't with her husband. She wasn't with who got traded with her. Whoever she was with didn't bother to go have breakfast with her. She was all alone. And I said, there is something very empty and shallow about this. And then also there's the dudes. You can look at some men's eyes and see they've seen more of their woman with other men than they ever should have.
Yeah.
You ever seen that movie Ghost Dog with Forrest Whitaker?
Yeah.
How the samurai lives each day knowing it could be his last to die. And Whitaker, with that small eye, had that lost look of a man that knows he's doomed. A man who knows he's dead already.
Yeah, he is.
You look at them dudes, and you look in their eyes and go, this motherfucker dead inside from here on. I hope it wasn't his idea.
Oh, man. That's kind of sad to see. It was such a different time back then. There's not a whole lot of that going on anymore.
Well, like I wrote back in the 80s, AIDS has ruined the party.
Fuck.
But now we ain't worried about AIDS anymore.
No.
Now it's like
COVID.
Man coughs, and people heard me coughing, covering. I don't understand. I got a mask on.
I got a shield.
But they say cough in your elbows. This joke never works. Cough in your elbows, but you straighten your elbow, and what? The germs don't fly up.
No, they stay right there, I guess.
You think so?
I don't know. I'm a welder. I'm definitely not a scientist.
I'm not a scientist, but I watched one on TV once. But, to me, I don't understand it. But it's a wet, phlegmy, moist cough, so it's okay.
We're safe.
It's not like those dry coughs you get from staying at hotels with radiators out west.
Oh, I've stayed in a few hotels in Red Deer, Alberta, I know. And so how's COVID been treating you? Because you said you're made for this.
Yeah, I don't really feel that in my neighborhood, I go out for a beer. More often than not, I almost get into a beef with somebody just minding my own business.
Who picks on Kenny?
Well, you'd be surprised. Okay, perfect example. I walk into a place, and the place is crowded Friday night, and I say, the bartender serves my drink. I say, thank you, sir. So, drunk on a bar stool, ain't nobody ever called me sir my entire life. So I say, well, everybody likes a little bit of respect. Can't nobody get mad at you for respecting somebody.
That's good.
So I walk away, and he turns to the younger dude with him. Hear this asshole? Nobody ever gets mad when you show them respect. So he looks at me. So I got the two of them looking over at me.
So wait, this guy just got mad because you...
It's just a drunk sitting on a stool who's been there maybe 2 hours before I arrived. So I had my walking stick with the big handle on it. So I figure, okay, what I'm going to do. So I sit down, and I look to my left, and I see I'm right at the back door already. So I'm thinking, well, these two assholes want to start something. I'm taking the younger dude out first. All he needs is the knob of the walking stick underneath the chin. His jaw's broken.
He doesn't hit too much. No.
And the old cat with the fucking attitude, well, whatever, then out the door I go. So I'm going, ain't that a bitch? You ain't even had a sip of a drink yet, and you're already thinking about how you might have to lay someone out and leave. So I finish my drink and go out that back door. And out the door I go. So I cross the street to another bar, and some drunk's up there, hey, you're the comedian, what's your name? And I go, geez. So then he has to announce, hey, one of the best comedians in the country is here. Who is he? Never heard of him. So I got all these motherfuckers, well, tell us a joke. I go, well, no, I ain't working.
Yeah.
Tell us a joke, never heard of you, all this other shit. And all I wanted
is a beer.
was a beer.
That's it.
Yeah. And then the music they're playing, it was not the, not the music I want to hear anyway. So, or another place I go to, I got a fedora, and then I got either a woman trying to grab my hat wanting to put it on, or some, you meet a guy who, he's definitely that divorced guy out there every night, and after 2 minutes of him talking to you, you know why his wife left him. He's a douchebag.
Yeah.
So, I got excited. I can't even wear one of my hats up, somebody wanted to fuck with me.
I know, the fedoras get everybody.
So, well, when I come up in Chicago, you don't mess with a man's sky piece.
No, you don't touch it. No.
So here I am thinking like, this is my neighborhood. So I can't go to Cheers where everybody knows my name. I'd rather nobody not know me. So I can't go in for, just sit there and be the old man and sitting there quietly having a beer drinking by himself.
That's wild. I guess that's what 40 years of grinding and entertainment does.
Think you sure don't want to be around assholes.
No, definitely not. What's kind of the worst heckler you've ever had to deal with?
Oh, Jesus.
I guess there's got to be one that's burnt right in there. 40 years?
No, there's been too many.
There's too many.
There's been too. My favorite.
Okay.
I'll tell you my favorite, then I'll tell you my most recent.
Okay.
My favorite was I was in Johannesburg, South Africa. I was playing there like 3 weeks. It was my last Friday night of my third week, so I'm ready to get out of that country anyway. No, I still had another week to go. So anyway, this guy comes up to me and goes, I thought you were disgusting. I go, well, I'm not everybody's cup of tea. Just trying to have a quiet drink.
Mind my own business.
Waiting for the fucking owner to give me a ride back to my hotel. So the guy goes, you offended marriage. I said, how do I offend the marriage? What kind of marriage? What kind of marriage did I offend? And you mean, did I offend marriage of convenience, marriage for a green card, marriage for the sake of the kids? Did I offend, how did I offend marriage? And he goes, well, are you really married? I said, well, who would say they was if they wasn't?
Yeah, nobody lies about being married.
No, you lie about not being married. Oh no, I ain't got a wife. That's suntan. That's from my high school ring. So anyway, he says you offended my wife, you offended me, and I demand an apology. So a couple of guys had bought me drinks, and they told me they were ex-South African Army and did this and did that, and they go, oh, that's our brother, and I go, oh, there goes them drinks. So,
drinks got.
Well, I was getting them free anyway. But the point is, he's got two brothers here that are already told him about their ex-military. Well, back in South Africa, everybody had to do military service.
Yeah.
So anyway, I go, okay, now it could get unpleasant. So the guy brings his wife over. So I go, sorry if you were offended. I can't say I'm sorry because I don't know what I did wrong.
Yeah. That's fair. That's a fair
I don't know what joke set him off.
Yeah, that's a
So it was my first joke, my opener. My opening line was, I read this article, I mentioned a magazine or newspaper, National Post, USA Today, whatever. I said that there's a survey taken, 100 men, 50 gay, 50 straight. Turns out gay men have bigger penises. They said, well, if you go around planting something in fertilizer, eventually it's going to grow. Now, that I either get dead silence from the entire room, or the roof is off the house.
Yeah.
The roof is off the house, but not for these two people.
Okay.
So I make my apology, or I apologize if you were offended. They leave. Then his two brothers go, yeah, you kind of set my sister-in-law and my brother off on that one. The other one says, our brother used to be a notorious homosexual, and I guess that hit him.
Oh, so, I was like, wait, why does this offend marriage for a second?
Well, it offended their marriage.
Yeah.
So I started laughing inside because they called him a notorious homosexual. So I go, what the fuck made him a notorious? Did people talk about his homosexuality wide and far and wide? Was he like, there was
notorious B.I.G.?
Like notorious B.I.G. He was notorious F.A.G. I mean, what about this homosexual that made him so notorious? So, so then I stop and I think, and I said, and they said, when I said that joke, it only reminded the wife that he used to live that lifestyle.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
So I go, so you know what? All these years, I've always offended somebody, and I always felt bad afterwards.
Yeah.
30 years in the game taught me this finally, and it says the problem is, it's their baggage.
Yeah, that's
it ain't my baggage.
Yeah, that's what they're mad about. Yeah.
It's their baggage.
Yeah.
They, whatever their issues or complaints they have.
It's fair that they have it, but it's theirs.
But, you know, and unfortunately, I didn't have a questionnaire when you walked into the building, if you could see the show or not. I did what I think is funny.
Yeah, how do you know that's going to affect somebody?
Well, they used to have guys like me and Jason Rouse and Mike Wilmot and Tim Steves at university gigs in the late 80s, early 90s. We had to fill out a contract promising not to say anything offensive. Well, how in the hell do I know what's offensive until you tell me that you're offended?
Yeah.
And by that time, it's too late because you've been offended.
And there was a different time when I guess there wasn't like a whole lot on the internet. What isn't offensive? Like, you know what I mean?
It was the beginning of political correctness. It was
Yeah.
It was right around when they were banning dice and they wanted hang Sam Kinison. So So it was all around that point when political correctness became a phrase.
Yeah.
I thought political correctness was politically accurate, but that was a completely different thing.
Yeah.
So it was right around that period of time when the campuses and universities and colleges were starting to crack down because a 5-member group of some special interest club in the school would make a big stink, and then you're banned from playing that gig again.
I guess you got to be super careful now, then, eh?
Well, no, because I don't get those gigs. But a year ago, not this summer, last summer, I had a gig. Mark Anthony takes me on this gig.
Mark Anthony.
He had this gig at a resort, and I was told that there'll be people 16 years old and up. So I figure, okay, well, I can do some shit for 16-year-olds. I get there, they got like 9-year-olds in the audience. And all these people that stay at this resort are there because, there's no TV. It's nighttime. And let's be honest, family can only sit in a one-room hotel and listen to each other fart for so long. They go out.
Yeah. So
I try to just do crowd work with and a table of 14-year-old girls. Oh, good. We got Jan Brady here. And then we got Marcia. And then there's a bunch of 19-year-old guys. And they go, you meet any girls yet? And they go, no. And I go, well, these girls are too young. And then I made fun of them going, don't say that. Those guys might get us beer. So right away, I pissed off people because I'm suggesting their precious little daughters may want beer and that these precious young sons may try to look at them young girls. So anyway, I said, look, folks, the show's going to take a turn, so maybe you might want to take your little ones in, back to the room. So anyway, I'm doing this stuff, and I'm walking. Even the cleanest stuff is getting glare stares.
And what's that like? What does that feel like when you're consumed by people just angry for a minute?
Not perfect example. Kawhi just decided to go with the Lakers,
I'm terrible with
Clippers. So I said, man, Kawhi left. All kinds of white boys are going to be taking their corn rolls out now. Nothing. Then I do another one, and I can hear the ropes being thrown over tree branches. So there's this big South African guy. He's a South African guy because I learned the voices and accents.
Yeah.
He's standing at the side of the stage. Are you sick? Are you sick? You're sick. And he looks like he wants to jump. And I said, man, just go sit down and leave. And there were people digging the show.
Yeah.
But there's also so anyway, we finish it. I get out. And this one woman, she throws a beer bottle that she'd snuck into the venue. Still had the lid on it. And there's no management there. There's no management. I say, well, can we say this? Can we say that? And the girl working the front desk, who we checked when we came in. She goes, "Oh, fuck them if they can't take a joke." I couldn't, when we had trouble with management later on, we couldn't repeat that or the girl be out of a job.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to get out of there. And for the first time in a long time, I felt like there might be violence at a show. So Mark Anthony says to me, "Should I pull the car up?" I said, "No. If I'm going to get jumped at a resort, then let me go down like the Alamo. I'm not,
You're gonna fight. You're gonna go. Yeah, I guess.
I ain't asked if I can dance with your girl. I didn't try to finger fuck your grandma. I didn't do nothing. I just did what I do."
Yeah, you did your jokes.
So the woman that threw the beer at me says, "I hope you're happy. You've made my 9-year-old son cry." And I said, "Well, what made him cry? What did I say to make him cry?"
I understand that night.
And she goes, "I don't know. I was outside while you were still up there being an asshole." So Mark says, "So it was so bad you ran, but you left your child inside." I said, "Good thing it wasn't a fire." So she goes, "You apologize now."
To who?
To her 9-year-old son. So we know comedy's going to be canceled. But man, there was so much trouble and bullshit afterwards. So I get home, and so for about 3 days, I'm semi-suicidal. And then I thought, well, look.
It bothered you?
Well, yeah, because after 40 years, I should be able to walk in a resort and work.
Yeah, yeah. No, I know, but that's...
Well, no, still. And I said, well, you ain't had no business taking that fucking gig. You don't, so ever get a request for a resort? And the thing is, I said, when you hire Kenny Robinson, you get Kenny Robinson. I'm just not Joe Blow comic A.
I mean, you ask anybody, they know what you do.
Look me up on the internet.
Yeah, you're everywhere.
Stuff I did on TV, they weren't even letting me get away with. So I'm thinking well, you know what, man, think about it. When you started out when you were 19 years old, did you ever think that someday you'd like to make 9-year-old children laugh? I said, no. That was never. And I said,
no, who's prepared for that?
Well, there are people that can make families laugh.
Yeah, there are guys. Yeah.
There are lots of them. I'm not one of them.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
But there are people. Cosby didn't have to do any of that stuff. Robin Williams could have.
Yeah.
A bunch of, other comedians that do the cruise ships. A lot of, my friend Big Daddy Taz out of Winnipeg. He can do it, but I couldn't do it.
Hey, that guy's got some sweet old school rides, doesn't he?
He's got a car collection that he's starting to have to sell a few things here and there.
I've seen that.
But Taz is like a beautiful cat, beautiful soul all the way around.
Seems like a really nice guy. I don't
he
know
is.
through line, but I seen his beautiful.
No, he's the real deal nice. So then I started thinking. I said, well, her 9-year-old, I made her 9-year-old son cry. And I said, what, jokes made him cry? I said, shit, when I was 9 years old, my father died, motherfucker. You better toughen up.
Jeez.
And then I started thinking, I said, when you were 7 or 8,
you're like, comedy's canceled. I don't care. I'm going to give her it straight now.
Plus, she's up there yelling and calling this and that, and I didn't cuss her or say anything because I did behave as a professional, which means you allow them to talk their shit. So anyway, I started thinking about, well, when you're 8 years old, you start laughing at everything inappropriate.
Yeah.
I learned how to read by graffiti on walls. I was 8 years old, and somebody wrote "Pussy is good" on a wall, and all these kids going to class would read it out every day. Pussy is good, and I didn't know what pussy was, but someone had wrote that it was good, so it must be.
And you remember, and that is in your memory since that day?
Well, also I got in trouble. I wrote on my kid brother's formula box, fuck, because I saw that written on the wall, but I misspelled it, F-A-C-K, and my mother saw this and goes, "Are you so jealous of your little brother that you have to write this kind of filth on his tabloid box?" They're slapping at me, and my father jumped in and went, "What do you hit him for? Look what he wrote on the box." Oh, I thought he was just scribble-scrabble, because I was never at penmanship. So she threatened to tell my Cub Scout leader and everything what kind of person I was and all that, try to guilt trip him or drop on me.
Yeah.
So, I learned how to read and spell by reading graffiti and obscenities. So, and then the kids at school in the playground, any of those dirty little nursery rhymes, way past whatever Dykes thought he could know, I would love, and I could never get enough of it. So I've always loved profanities. I always loved inappropriate. And then I'm thinking about, fuck him, fuck me, little punk ass 9-year-old. And then I thought about how when I was 8, my friends and I was always told there's a construction site across the street from where I live in Chicago. And we were told, stay out of there. My parents told me stay out of there. But anyway, the older kids had gone in, and we used to like to go play in there. Like they had window wells, and we would jump in there and pretend, because combat was a big thing on TV. So we would pretend those window wells were pill boxes. So we'd play Army in there, or what have you. So anyway, me and this one kid, some older kids had broke windows out of the new townhouses of this. So we throw a rock here and there and just hit a piece of broken window. Yeah. If it was already broken. Yeah. So this guy comes out and goes, what are y'all doing here breaking windows? I'm going to call the police. So we start crying. Please don't call the police. Please don't. So he goes, both of you lean against the wall. And he says, okay, I want to make sure neither of you run. Both of y'all drop your pants around your ankles. Do it. So this older guy's doing it, grown up, older guy, whatever. So we both kind of drop on our pants. He says, now which one of you want to be the pussy boy first? So the other kid starts crying. I don't cry because I don't know what a pussy boy is, but apparently the other kid did. So I look over at him and I go like, try to get yeah, go first. Go put your hand up. He said, which one do you want to go first? So you know. So then I said, this is getting serious. I go, hey, there's my dad and Mr. Gibson. Mr. Gibson was the guy that owned the apartment building we lived in. So I go, Dad, I'm in trouble. So the guy goes, all right, shut up. So I don't want to see neither of you two again. So this guy takes off. You know, he had fucking separated our butt cheeks.
Where does this guy come from?
Just a
random dude.
Just a random predator.
That's fucking
and saw
weird.
2 little fucking kids breaking windows that shouldn't be.
And was like, I'm going to cash in on this.
So the guy took off. So me and this other kid, we got out of there.
I guess so.
But I couldn't go tell my parents what happened because they said, don't go over in that construction site. Next day at school, we looked at each other, didn't mention it.
I guess, yeah, you guys didn't talk about that.
But you know what? I ain't broken windows since.
Yeah,
I'm playing baseball, and I hit the ball. I'm going, don't. Start to grab my butt. No, please.
See if that guy's around.
Yeah, I don't trust umpire. So, you know, it's someone. This is me when I was 8 years old.
Yeah, that's good.
So what it did though is it triggered a bunch of my own realities of that age.
Yeah.
So this mother, you know, so I almost got raped. I'm sorry if me doing a joke upset and triggered your son, but y'all got a bitch ass for a little.
Yeah,
you got a bitch ass son.
He is not smashing no windows, that kid. Jesus.
You know, so.
Oh yeah, we totally forgot. We've been talking so good here. My boy Tommy hooked us up. Tommy O'Connor, guys, check him out on Facebook.
Don't tell people his last name.
No, that's how he rolls. This man, you guys can reach him out. He's got a whole bunch of products.
Tommy O'Connor.
Yeah, on Instagram and Facebook.
Let me see what Tommy's got. So
Tommy's got, this is a hydro bar. That's a 500 milligram hydro
500 milligrams?
500.
Is that milligrams?
Almonds, yeah, 500 milligrams. I think it's 20 a piece. He just texted me.
Oh,
and
shit.
then we got some gummy worms. It's 300 milligrams for 5 candies.
5 of these is 300, so that means 60 each.
60 each. And then my personal favorite, guys, it's called the Hungry Hooligans Regrettable Edibles. And it's a 1-pack, 1,000 milligrams. Each gummy bear is 100 milligrams a piece.
You know what I don't like about edibles? You ever take edibles and get so high and wish you weren't?
Oh yeah, there's no going away.
You'll be like, please God, I don't want to be high anymore. Please just let me come down.
I know.
I'm not enjoying this anymore.
Yeah. And I guess I mean now, did you ever do the edibles back in the day when they tasted bad?
Didn't really mess with no edibles back in the day.
Back in the day, yeah, because back in the day it was
didn't have them back in the day. We had album covers where we shaking the seeds.
Yeah,
but my uncle did give me some mushroom tea though, and that shit. Then I had to go do a show, and that shit kind of slowed me a bit.
Oh, you've had mushroom tea. I mean, I have had mushroom tea, but that is wild. This is new experiences here I'm sharing with this man.
Used to get mushrooms and roll them up with hash or with weed, and then.
I never heard that.
Well, it's because you're not a gangster like me.
Oh, this OG right here.
So what else I got there coming?
And then, so he's got this,
Tommy O'Connor.
Tommy O'Connor.
Tommy O'Connor. Good Irish name there.
He's actually been on my podcast as well. He came, we did a bunch of dabs. This is a distillate pen. It's 1.1 grams of indica. It's pineapple.
Now, can I smoke this with a pizza? Can I eat pizza and then have pineapple? Would that make me a bad person?
Listen, I don't.
Because you know the big debate, does pineapple belong on a pizza? So can you smoke this and eat a pizza?
I don't want to disappoint you because I'm not getting the cane to the chin today.
I didn't bring it.
And then we just got a little bit of Violator Kush. This is a nice strain right there. So roll it up for yourself. Again, thanks, Tom.
Let me put this in my boots so my woman don't know about it.
Hey,
that's going to hide my dope from my junkie bitch, the woman I got.
Let's go to the personal stash. And again, you've performed at a lot of cannabis friendly venues over the years. Vapor Central.
My favorite is Puff Mama's old room, Clandestiny.
Oh wow,
it's gone now, but I liked it better than the other ones. Vapor Central, motherfuckers play with dabs too much there.
It's heavy.
Vape on the Lake, they just get so they would just stare.
Yeah. So it's
my favorite was Clandestiny because the audience would let me just sit back and just reach in and pull out whatever I wanted. They would let me create. It was a jazz feeling to the room. Whereas with the other rooms, I just felt I was performing for kids who couldn't smoke dope at home.
Yeah, and they just got too high when they finally
got a chance. Or I have a hard time. I see a kid with a briefcase and he pulls out his AK-47 put together pipe.
With the little plastic pieces.
$600 this pipe is. I said, man, I had a car for $600. How the hell are you going to spend $600? I said, that is entitlement.
Yeah, see, I smoke a lot of weed, but I am like a $9.99 store type guy.
If it ain't at the convenience store, I ain't getting it.
No, I got one bong because now I do this, so people come over, so we gotta have one, but I'm not spending $220 on a piece of glass. Like, it's just not for me.
Well, that'd be like an alcoholic buying a drinking mug for $90. This is the only drink I like to put my scotch in.
This is my scotch cup.
So that can't be done,
So what was probably your favorite about performing, other than being able to be fluent and easygoing in the weed rooms? Because they're not like performing for bars, like not drunk people. They're a little more respectful.
Well, I've spent more years in bars than 420 rooms. I'm just saying that overall, Puff Mama's Clandestiny was my favorite of all.
That's true. Okay.
And I guess it was an older clientele, and maybe they're there more for comedy as well. The Greenleaf in Brampton.
Hey,
Brampton. Yeah. I love that room. I used to go do. I think I did 3 hours there one night.
Oh wow.
I'd go in there, and I was telling. I would do an hour and a half minimum every time I went in there. And then each time, say, did 2 hours last time. I said 2. So I'd laugh, and then back time I go back there try to beat that.
Yeah.
And it was great because.
R.I.P. Greenleaf, guys. They were great people. It was a fun room.
Yeah.
And they were always hospitable.
And I was never high doing this because I got to drive back to Mississauga. So, I would stay outside because you get all smoky in here. And then, used to kind of throw my timing off hearing the motherfuckers with the torches. I said, sound like
that was what was annoying about Vapor Central.
Sound like the heating unit just kicked in. Who turned on the furnace?
Yeah, who's got a bag of chips right now?
So I used to love the Greenleaf. I'd go in there and do Springsteen length sets.
Oh, that's 3 hours.
Wow.
I barely feel 15 minutes right now. 3 hours, I couldn't even imagine.
Well, and try to stay away from the hits.
From the hits?
Try and stay away from the bits that I've been doing in the clubs.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I'm not doing Springtime. I'm not doing street proofing. I'm not doing. I was improvising and working on new stuff there. So that was my place to go work out.
Creatively,
creatively. Instead of an open mic, it was open mics for the others, but to me, I was getting paid, and I was going to give each time. I was try and give the best of something that I've never done before.
Hey, I've only ever seen you give the best of yourself.
I try to go Miles Davis on them. Try to just try to play it that way on them, just
smooth.
Yeah. Or like I was telling. I used to love the stories of pimps that my dad's friends and my mom would tell me of all these old pimps from Winnipeg. So I started this little thing called Kenny Robinson's Bedtime Pimp Stories.
Yeah.
So I was just telling these stories of pimps that I knew and pimps that said this and nobody's gonna go, you're talking about human trafficking. Well, no, I'm talking about my Uncle Al.
That's a different time, eh?
Well,
what was it like to be around something like that? Stories of that nature.
Well, it's easy. It's easy to be impressed by evil.
Yeah.
But I actually had people going, tell some more pimp stories.
Oh yeah.
And I'm going, oh man, I think I'm almost out of them now. So then I started to think like, do I need to call up some of these people I know on Facebook that were in the life and try to get them? Tell me about
stories from a pimp.
I need some more pimp stories, quick. Then I thought, well, man, you can put a whole CD out of pimp stories. But now, but unfortunately, with pimps should not be idolized or looked up to. And I don't know if I looked up to him or idolized him. It's just that
it's a business.
Plus everybody, so many people that were friends of my family. Don't forget, we had to leave Winnipeg because of legal problems. So many of them, that was their background. Including my father and my grandfather. My grandfather, his nickname was Lovey Joe Robinson.
Joe Robinson.
And there was an old gospel jazz singer. The name just escapes me now, but she is famous for a song called "His Eyes on the Sparrow," which is it's a hymn.
I have to look it up.
So anyway, she in her book, get old now because I'm not high because I can't remember names. In her book, she wrote that her aunt had a kind and gentle pimp named Lovey Joe Robinson. So when I saw that in the book, I underlined it. So I said, damn, I said, kind and gentle. Then I said, yeah, well, the motherfucker sent your father and your grandmother away when your father was 2 and your grandmother was 9. Sent them from New York City up to Winnipeg to be with her sister. So, he may have been kind and gentle as a pimp, but he was a son of a bitch as a father to your own father. So, Ethel Waters, that's who wrote the book. So...
That's a story and a half. I've been following you for a while. It's not something I've heard before, so.
Well, I can't do that in the mainstream clubs.
No, I guess
and
not.
when I'm at a freak club, at a swingers club, don't nobody want to hear something like that.
Crazy.
I got to make fun of the dudes that are just walking around wearing towels. Call this part. What you gonna wear, man? Just a towel.
Just a towel.
That's a confident brother.
I can't.
That just come to the club wearing a towel.
It came straight from the car too.
I showered, put a towel on, just came straight over. That's a very confident dude.
Kenny, this has been, I can't believe it's already.
We gotta end this because you paid for the room by the hour.
Yeah, paid by the hour.
See now, pimp.
Pimp
would have got you this
he's
room.
He's gonna come in here and break my knees. I go over 2 minutes.
No, pimp would have got you the room for the night for whatever you paid for the hour.
Yeah.
It's empty the rest of the time.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know. I gotta start getting this guy's deals. I gotta start getting his pimp knowledge. Get some deals up in here. But guys, this has been Cannabis Comedy Church on Apexx Radio. Kenny, thank you so much for coming out.
Thank you for having me.
Guys, stay safe. Keep checking us out. We're going to keep getting cool new guests and switching up the episodes.
Cooler guests? How they going to get cooler guests than me?
I know. This is going to be tough. I don't even know. I know. We're gonna
this motherfucker know about seeds.
Seeds, guys. Seeds and staff.
He all had to make a pipe out of a pop can for your $200 bongs.
Pimps, guys. This has been a wild episode. Again, thank you so much for checking us out. We'll keep swinging this and join us on Cannabis Comedy Church on Facebook and Instagram, guys. See you next time. Keep getting high, stay lit, stay safe.
And fuck your 8-year-old son crying.
Yeah, whoever that kid is.